Hello, I'm Dennis Pullin. One of my favorite parts about being president and CEO of Virtua Health is getting to know our colleagues and the many ways they are here for good. Each person contributes to healthy communities, and each person has a story to tell. So Bernard, thank you for joining me on the Inside edition of Here for Good.
Good.
How long have you worked at Virtua?
This is my ninth year.
Ninth year, and what's your primary job?
My primary job is a caterer. I'm a cook, and I'm also a philanthropist.
Let's go back a little bit. Tell me about life before Virtua.
I worked in five-star hotel in Ghana.
Ghana. So is that where you're from?
That's where I'm working.
Okay. How did you end up at Virtua?
I was working with Compass Group, which is our managers now. And I came to visit a patient at the hospital. And I was talking to one of the ladies, and she asked me, "Are you a caterer or you a cook?" And I said, "I'm a caterer."
So you guys were just talking about food, and she could tell that you had some expertise, huh?
Yeah. So she called me to the office, and the manager spoke to me. Had no idea. I speak about 7 languages.
Really?
Yes.
Which ones?
I speak our local languages, about 5 of them. I speak a bit of French, and I speak a bit of German as well.
Do you speak any of those languages at home or frequently with friends or family?
Most of the time I speak with my sisters, and when I make mistakes, they correct me. And also I have a side job. There's an organization called Global Arena where they're like translators or something.
Okay.
So sometimes I go to the hospitals and I go to the court.
And provide some translation. Yeah.
Yes.
So you've been in the hospitality industry for a long time. Are there any important lessons that you've learned?
I would say the most important that I would say is customer relations.
Hospitality and healthcare, there are some similarities in terms of how you treat people. Would that be fair?
Yes. It's most important. I went to school in hospitality back home for 2 years. All the professors were telling us the best way to be a good hospitalist is to treat your customers and clients very good.
So it's about how you make people feel. And that's really what we try and do in healthcare, and in particular here at Virtua.
Yeah.
Is that what you've experienced in terms of seeing people and your colleagues that are focusing on the experience that our patients have, our patient family members, and all of our colleagues? Is that something that you witness?
And I believe because of my relationship, the way I relate to them, I treat each and everyone as a person that has to be treated well.
And I personally have been a recipient of that. I know when I walk into an environment and when I see you, I know things are going to be just the way they should be. And you always greet people with a smile, and you're always courteous and make people feel like you really enjoy the work that you do. And you're all about making the experience that any of us have a quality experience. Recently, particularly at Voorhees, the food service there has gotten a lot of recognition, either on Facebook, even on the news, and it's been written up, some of the quality of the food there. And people talk about it's as good as you would get in some of the restaurants. How do you and the rest of the team respond to that kind of recognition?
Well, we're so excited because every morning our managers, we do huddle. And that is one of the things they talk about it. Like, be respectful, be nice, be kind, know that you are here because of them, especially patients, our customers, and everybody. Sometimes when I'm off, I come back to the hospital to deliver food to the patient's room. I do that as a passion for the people that are there, because I know the best people are us. Sometimes I feel like the people that we're serving them, if we're nice to them, it's help them heal.
It's part of the healing process. Where did this come from? Where did this innate desire to take care of people, to influence their sense of well-being, where did you get that from?
I think from my parents. And also when I went to school, my teachers always repeat that. And I've met a lot of people, I've been to a lot of conferences where that is the most important thing. And after that, I've listened to you at the HEC. You talked about customer relations, how we should make people feel that they're acceptable in every spheres.
Everybody matters, always. And so we have to treat people the way we want to be treated, obviously. And it sounds like that is what you take a tremendous amount of pride in. What about, you mentioned being off, and sometimes you come back to deliver food. Do you have any other personal interests or activities outside of work that keeps you busy?
I go around looking for toys, books, clothes, shoes for people back home. I put them in the containers. Sometimes I ship the whole container, full 40 feet up container.
Well, you know, what you just talked about is the definition of being here for good. And you have been here for good, not only for our patients, but to your point, for communities that are far, far away from where you live. And I can't thank you enough for that. So thank you for joining me on Here for Good. Thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for everything you do for all of our patients here at Virtua.
You're welcome. Yeah. Thanks too for your...
Oh, no, thank you. It's been my pleasure to speak with Bernard. I hope you enjoyed this segment as much as I did. Tune in next time for another edition of Here for Good.